really a lot.
Okay.
I usually freeze up when I start talking about something. So
Oh no, you're okay. It's just me, you, and Dennis anyway. This is really good for you actually, because as a distributor, I think it is a really good idea to talk and know more about oxidative stress.
yeah.
So essentially what let's see if I can put myself somewhere here. So can you guys still hear me? Is that all right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so oxidative stress is basically the root cause of all of our problems as we age. If you do a quick search, you can find out that oxidative stress is the reason for everything from cancer, cardiovascular issues, diabetes, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome is a huge one because the doctors still can't figure out. How did Marie the water nerd figure it out? And doctors they can't figure out what causes chronic fatigue syndrome. And it's my theory, and also the internet's theory, that it's oxidative stress and damage. So where do we get oxidative stress, or what is it? A third of all, or I'm sorry, 3% of every breath we take actually becomes reactive oxygen species. So what happens when we breathe, for instance, and that's if we're breathing nice, clean, mountain air, oxygen is being used to fuel our body and especially our cell system. So we breathe in this oxygen and it's all nice and balanced and it's a perfect oxygen molecule, and in the process of using it for energy, an electron is used, one of the energy cells of it, right? So now what we're being left with sorry about that. Now what we're being left with, even from our own breathing, is reactive oxygen species, and that causes oxidative stress. Now, other ways that we can get oxidative stress are radiation, smoking, vaping, drinking, eating bad food. Oxidative stress actually too, Dennis, comes with any sickness or any infection. Your body spends a lot of energy trying to heal you, and therefore it's creating reactive oxygen species as it's working, right? It's kind of reactive oxygen, or ROS, or free radicals, is kind of like our exhaust system. So it's completely necessary. And it is, the harder our body works, the more we have. A lot of professional athletes are riddled with oxidative stress and damage, free radical damage, that sort of thing. Also, a lot of people that don't take care of their bodies also have it. So you can think every time you're physically stressed, emotionally stressed, psychologically stressed, your body is creating these reactive oxygens because it is using oxygen as a fuel source to try to balance out the stress. And that's where the stress comes from. When we get enough stress, it ends up with being called oxidative damage. Another word for oxidative damage is symptoms. And I learned this the hard way because I ended up getting enough oxidative stress and damage in my digestional tract that I got pain and I got sick. I went to the doctor. The doctor named my symptoms IBS and colitis. I knew in my heart of hearts, my symptoms were not my problem. My symptoms were a symptom of my problem, which is why we call them symptoms, right? And so instead of going down the traditional route of dealing with the doctor for the IBS and colitis, I dove deep and started to realize, and this is where I kind of came to the understanding of oxidative stress and antioxidants. Was because I wanted to get to the root of the problem. So for anybody that's watching the replay on this, if you're more into the root of the problem than diagnosing and treating symptoms, then this is something that you should definitely be paying attention to. So next on my list is, how do you know that you have oxidative stress and damage if you don't have symptoms? Meaning that you're in the stress part, not the damage part. A lot of people will notice really low energy. That's probably one of your biggest, really bad digestive for me, really low energy, just looking your age. Like before I started on antioxidant water, I full on looked my age, if not older. So you can see it in your skin, you can see it in your hair and nails. It's just this overall feeling of unwell. It's not bad enough to send you to the doctor, but it's bad enough that you notice. Most of us call it aging. And we think, oh, that's just what happens. Oh yeah, my nails just break off. Oh, my hair all fell out. That's what happens. It's just aging, right? But the thing is it's not just aging. It's actually oxidative stress that's going to eventually move into damage. So now what do? Essentially, right? Because we're solution driven. We need to know solutions if we know the problem. Otherwise, there's no sense of gathering problems. So this is again how I ended up in antioxidant water. There's a number of things in this world that are antioxidant. Try to stay off the red wine. It's not as powerful as you think. But green tea is an antioxidant, vitamin C, selenium, all the vitamins that we've been told to take during COVID. So zinc is an antioxidant. What else? D12, D3. There's a ton of them out there. But the problem is nobody really wants to take like a Centrum salad of supplements every morning trying to eat enough antioxidants. You eat blueberries for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then you're swallowing pills the rest of the time, swishing them down with green tea. It's not really the life we want to live, right? But antioxidants are in food. So, I mean, it's definitely good to have your nutrition on point. But you can actually supplement now antioxidant water. The water that we're using is ERW, or electro reduced water, or as I've nicknamed, electric water, just because it's easier and it sounds all zappy, right? But that is one of the most powerful antioxidants that you could ever put in your body. It's definitely leaning on the side of preventative, but we use it in reactive as well. If someone gets sick, I'm running over there with water. And so does have a part to play in reactive, but ERW, or electric water, is definitely a preventative, not allowing your body to get to that level of stress that you end up with damage is where we want to be to stay healthy instead of just get healthy, right? If you have any questions while I'm ranting and raving about antioxidants, let me know. So antioxidant water, that's one thing I did have on my notes that I wanted to put in here, is there's a difference between nutritional antioxidants and hydration based antioxidants. So the antioxidant that's in ERW, or electric water, is molecular hydrogen gas. What we're doing with electricity and water is we're actually splitting the hydrogen atom into gas and the other part. The other part comes out the wastewater, the cleaning water, as I call it, and the hydrogen gas goes into the drinking water. Molecular hydrogen is an emerging medical miracle. They're still doing studies on it. There's probably about 3,500 right now, and more to come. This is something that the whole world should be paying attention to. Now, the difference between nutritional antioxidants versus hydration. Now, I could sit here and I could eat, 5 pounds of blueberries and say I've got my antioxidants. The problem is the digestive system actually causes extra oxidative damage. So you're eating these antioxidants and you're going to balance out some free radical or some oxidative stress. But the problem is your digestive system is now countering with adding more. So whatever antioxidants you're eating are actually half, is what they figure. Now, when you use molecular hydrogen as an antioxidant, what happens, and this blew me away when I first learned it, there is one particular free radical called a hydroxyl radical. So it's an O, imagine this is my oxygen, and an H. So it's very close to what we all know and love, but this is one O, one H. now what happens with the hydroxyl radical is a lot of the free radicals cause mutations. But our cellular system is so amazing that when a mutation occurs, our cells are actually programmed to self-destruct. So mutations happen all the time, and it's not that big of a deal because of our amazing bodies. Now, what happens with these hydroxyl radicals is they go through the cellular system, they get in with the free radicals, the other free radicals, this is a type of free radical, and they cause multiplications. So now if you've got free radicals causing mutations and you've got a hydroxyl radical causing a multiplication, you've got a problem. Now, when we use hydrogen as an antioxidant, the number one radical that the hydrogen seeks out are these hydroxyl radicals. And what does it do? It adds another hydrogen. So instead of having the OH, the problem, the troublemaker, now what hydrogen is going to do is it's going to attach to the oxygen and the hydrogen, making a H2O. So that's where we get into cellular hydration, because you're drinking a glass of water. As the hydrogen goes into your system, it's seeking out these hydroxyl radicals, making a water molecule out of something intensely dangerous in your body. Therefore, the only byproduct of a hydration-based antioxidant is actually water. And I think that really speaks volumes. Water doesn't cause any more oxidative stress and damage. It doesn't need to be digested, it is simply absorbed. And it is the best way to get the maximum antioxidants into your system and cut down on the hydroxyl radical. And the only thing that can stop a hydroxyl radical is another hydrogen. That's why our gut actually makes hydrogen. This is all by design, whoever designed us, right? A lot of people don't realize that our gut flora, well, everyone's talking about the second brain right now. What our gut flora does is it eats lovely fruits and vegetables and all the good stuff that we're told that we have to eat, and it farts hydrogen. So hydrogen is a very natural antioxidant. It's actually made in our bodies. We're supposed to make 10 liters of hydrogen a day by design. And most of us, in a study in 2017, found that at a 500, oh, my phone's died. Out of 500 people in the study, only 3% were making over 10 liters, and over 85% were making under 2 liters of hydrogen. And then we're wondering why everyone's sick. And I think it is the fact, it all boils down. Everything in this business that we're dealing with, as far as teaching people about this water, it all literally boils down to oxidative stress and antioxidants, and learning how to neutralize your free radical damage with hydration-based antioxidants. So that is all I have to say. I apologize, my phone is dying. Do you have any questions as of right now?
That was pretty compact. That was really good.
Awesome. Maybe I should work from the RV more often.
No, you kick in with the pressure, so that was really good.
All right. Well, and Sherry, I know you're still there. You might be talking because you're still on mute. I love you. I love you both. Thank you so much for being here and listening to me do my favorite talk. And this is something that we're going to do again, is antioxidants and oxidants. But even taking this as you're teaching other people about the water, this is one of the most fundamentals that you could possibly ever teach them. And it makes sense. It's compliant, and it's all about neutralizing this damage. And we've all been doing it. That's why babies at a year old start drinking Kangen water. It's because they've been breathing for a year, and they start having reactive oxygen. They start having this free radical stuff come up even at a year old. And that's why babies can drink Kangen. Okay, if you have any questions, by all means, message me. I'm going to drive my bouncy castle home now. And yeah, please message me, and we'll have this replay up. And if you want, you can always share it as well. Okay,
Super.
Cool. Thanks, Marie.
awesome. Thanks,
Sherry,
guys.
there
I'll
you are.
talk to
Thanks, Dennis.
you. Bye. Thank you, Dennis. But thank you, Sherry.
Have a good
Bye.
night. Bye.
You too.